We start tonight with a shocking incident in Trenton, where 3 people were injured after a shooting occurred outside of N.J. Weedman's joint restaurant. We have details on what happened, who was involved, and the investigation underway to find the shooter. This is a story you won't want to miss.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we dive into the viral world of stop-motion animation. The Philadelphia-based couple, Marie Hart and Peter Heacock, watched their project get wrongly flagged as AI-generated by YouTube, leading to a massive pivot. Find out how their tiny grandma character went from a niche fandom to a millions-viewed phenomenon, and what this means for independent creators. In big news for government transparency, we examine the Great American Road Trip YouTube series and the allegations brought by Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. We look at claims that Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy may have violated federal gift and travel rules by promoting a trip funded by industries his department regulates. And finally, we look at the masterclass in modern branding. Experts reveal why brands like YouTube, Apple, and Coca-Cola endure by focusing on clarity and consistency, not just technology. Tune in now to understand the secrets to building a brand that people trust. Trenton police responded to a shooting incident outside N.J. Weedman's joint in Trenton early Sunday morning, resulting in 3 injuries. The 3 victims, 2 women and 1 man, all in their early 30s, arrived at Capitol Health Regional Medical Center with gunshot wounds. According to police reports, the victims stated they were on the rear patio of the restaurant, located at 322 East State Street, when the shooting occurred. All 3 individuals sustained non-life-threatening injuries and were subsequently released from the hospital. Police confirmed that a shooter fired multiple shots into the rear patio area of N.J. Weedman's joint restaurant, striking the 3 patrons. The owner of the restaurant, Ed, N.J. Weedman Fortune, acknowledged the incident on Facebook, expressing a desire to speak with the victims. Fortune also posted a video on YouTube, clarifying that the shooting took place outside the establishment and shared security system footage with Trenton police. He stated that the suspect has been identified and that the suspect is expected to be apprehended soon, commending the Trenton Police Department for their swift investigative efforts in gathering evidence and identifying the shooter. The Mercer County Shooting Response Team is currently collaborating with Trenton Police on the investigation. Anyone with information regarding the incident is urged to contact 600-99-8940-155 or 600-99-8094,000. YouTube's algorithm wrongly flagged the stop-motion shorts of Marie Hart and Peter Heacock as AI-generated, leading to the loss of monetization. Instead of a setback, the couple believes the takedown catalyzed a massive, unexpected surge in their brand, transforming their niche content into a viral phenomenon. Their puppet character, a Korean grandmother modeled after Hart's real-life mother, has rapidly gained millions of views across TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Following a year spent on white-label work, Hart and Heacock pivoted their studio, Unpop Animation, to develop original intellectual property. Their initial concept was food prep animation, but they quickly shifted focus to creating a character rooted in Hart's personal history, drawing inspiration from her mother's life as an immigrant, including unique cultural touchpoints like the nickname Orange Socks. The early content gained traction through cooking videos, which eventually led to plotting longer YouTube compilations. The demonetization, however, forced the couple onto camera, revealing the human element behind the puppet. This response was overwhelmingly positive. Viewers responded to the authenticity, desiring to see real people involved in the creation process, which Hart described as proof of life. The audience reaction shifted the project's direction. Tiny Grandma evolved from a standalone puppet into a character with a living family, tapping into classic narrative structures. Engagement skyrocketed, with recent videos achieving over 2 million views on Instagram alone. The puppet itself is a hybrid of digital fabrication and craft, utilizing 3D modeling software like Rhino for parts and resin printing, combined with hand-sewn textiles to maintain a low-tech, handmade aesthetic that resonates with a broader cultural movement celebrating artisanal creation. Facing potential industry offers, the couple is prioritizing independence, focusing on short-form narrative videos to build momentum and eventually develop longer, more complete stories. They are determined to maintain creative control, resisting deals that require fully funding pilots upfront for external distribution. An ethics watchdog group has launched an investigation into Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy's YouTube series, The Great American Road Trip, alleging violations of federal gift and travel rules. Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, CREW, filed a complaint with the Transportation Department's Inspector General's office on Monday, claiming the show was improperly sponsored by companies regulated by the department, including Toyota, United Airlines, and Boeing. Secretary Duffy announced the reality show, which documents a road trip undertaken by him, his wife, and their 9 children, described as a civic experience to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Duffy previously promoted the idea of American road trips, highlighting vehicles from domestic manufacturers at an event last year. CREW alleges that the production costs for the 5-part YouTube series were paid by the Great American Road Trip, Inc., a nonprofit led by a former transportation industry lobbyist and funded by the very companies the DOT regulates. CREW President Donald K. Sherman stated that the situation raises concerns, noting that everyday Americans struggle with rising gas prices and raise concerns about airline safety, while the secretary allegedly undertook a trip funded by the industries his agency oversees. Sherman demanded clarity on the funding and assurance that regulated companies would not receive preferential treatment. The complaint specifically alleges that Secretary Duffy violated a gift ban by soliciting or accepting anything of value from entities associated with his agency, and that officials used their authority to endorse products and services. In response, a spokesperson for the Department of Transportation, Nathaniel Sizemore, defended the series. Sizemore stated that celebrating the 250th anniversary is part of the Secretary's official duties, and that the road trip was one aspect of these responsibilities, noting the Secretary also conducted official visits, such as touring air traffic control towers. Sizemore clarified that the YouTube series was launched in partnership with the Great American Road Trip, Inc., which covered production costs, such as car rentals and lodging. He emphasized that no taxpayer dollars were used for the Secretary's family, and that the Secretary and his family receive no salary or production royalties. Furthermore, career ethics and budget officials at the Department of Transportation reviewed and approved the participation and travel in compliance with federal rules. The Danny Communicasija 2026 event in Ravenge served as a pivotal gathering for the creative industry, marketing, and business, featuring leading global experts discussing the strategies behind enduring brands. Key takeaways focused on the critical importance of defining identity before growth and maintaining unwavering consistency across all consumer touchpoints. Julie Supan, former CMO of platforms like YouTube and Airbnb, highlighted that success stems not from technological superiority, but from deeply understanding user needs. She explained that platforms like YouTube succeeded by focusing on simplifying expression, while Airbnb succeeded by delivering the feeling of authentic travel, proving that clarity, defining what a brand is and what it will never become, is more crucial than aggressive expansion. This concept of consistency was further explored by Don Claver of Build in Amsterdam, who argued that modern brands fail because they present inconsistent personalities across different channels. Claver emphasized that consumers buy based on familiarity, recognition, and trust, not purely rational assessment. He used the Coca-Cola versus Pepsi rivalry to illustrate that emotional familiarity trumps blind taste tests, and Apple's success is rooted in its consistent, controlled user experience. Claver warned that the fragmentation of brand messaging across social media, websites, and physical stores erodes trust. The solution lies in connected commerce, establishing a unified customer experience where the website acts as the central hub for identity and data. In an era dominated by artificial intelligence, Claver stressed that brand identity must be rigorously defined and systematized, as technology will only amplify confusion without a solid foundation. Ultimately, the message is clear. A brand is a consistent feeling that remains the same, regardless of where the user encounters it.